former Air Chief SP Tyagi hiding facts about his involvement in the VVIP chopper scam? Well, Headlines today has exclusive details of the Italian probe where one of the middlemen involved in the AgustaWestland choppers deal has alleged that he had several meetings with SP Tyagi while he was still the Indian Air Force chief. Now, the Italian probe documents quote AgustaWestland agent Ralph Guido Hashke as having met Air Chief Tyagi at least 6 to 7 times between 2004 and 2007. Hashke has told Italian investigators that he met Air Chief Tyagi in 2005 while he was still serving as the Indian Air Force chief in Delhi, and he met him in Bangalore as well, and that he held specific conversations with Air Chief Tyagi regarding parameters of VVIP choppers for Indian Air Force. Now, Hashke has said that the meeting took place at Air Chief Tyagi's kin, Sanjeev Julie Tyagi's office, where discussions were held on VVIP chopper specifications. Documents in fact show that Hashke established contact with Sanjeev Julie Tyagi back in 2001 in Italy. Swiss national Ralph Guido Hashke is one of the 3 middlemen who've been named in the Italian probe documents after Carlo Gerosa and Christian Michel. Getting us more details is my colleague Shiv Arur, who joins us on the phone line right now. Shiv, we heard ex-IF Chief SP Tyagi yesterday admit to meeting these middlemen at his cousin's place, but he at the same time claimed innocence. Now, the exclusive details that Headlines today has got, in fact, the claims that have been made by one of the middlemen suggest that there were meetings with SP Tyagi while he was still the Air Force chief, and very specifically, the talks revolved around tweaking the terms, the specifications for the VVIP choppers.
Ruchika, you're correct. Let's just get to the specifics of what the Air Chief, the ex-Air Chief had told us yesterday. He'd spoken to Headlines very extensively in perhaps the most candid interview that he gave to anyone yesterday, where he said that he had met one of them, and he said it was Carlo. He said he didn't remember the last name. That person he was referring to was Carlo Gerosa. And he said he'd met him once, and it was at Sanjeev Julie Tyagi's residence. It was probably at some kind of wedding function, and he doesn't remember any of the other people. Now you've got a peculiar situation here, Ruchika, because we've got the full confession text of what one of the other middlemen, Ralph Guido Hashke, who's half Swiss, half American, and he's 62 years old. He's based in Switzerland. His confession, which is part of the preliminary inquiry report, which was used as a basis for the arrest of the Finmeccanica CEO 2 days ago in Italy. And what you've got here is him actually saying, and remember, this is not Carlo Gerosa, the person that the Air Chief had spoken about. Here you've got Ralph Guido Hashke, who's considered the principal agent who was working on the payrolls of AgustaWestland and for the VVIP, saying that he had actually met Air Chief Marshal SP Tyagi at least 6 to 7 times over a 3-year period, and that period is precisely the time when he was the Air Force chief. He says categorically in that confession to interrogators that he was those meetings were held both in Delhi at the office cum residence, that is, of Sanjeev Julie Tyagi, who is the first cousin of Air Chief Tyagi, as well as at the Yelahanka Air Force Base in Karnataka, right outside Bangalore, during the Aero India show. He says that Air Chief Tyagi actually visited the Finmeccanica chalet and stall where meetings were apparently held. Mm-hmm. Now, he also the second most important point, and this also unfortunately flies in the face of what the Air Chief says, is that these conversations that were held pertain specifically to the helicopter deal, where they talk specifically about the parameters, the specifications, the details about the deal. And he also says that these meetings were very short. So, right. You've got a very peculiar situation here where the Air Chief says one thing, a middleman says one thing. Most of us would, know who to believe. If you had an Air Chief of the country, say something, you'd believe him. And if you had a middleman who's, works in the murky world of arms deals saying another, But it's an uncomfortable situation as far as the air chief is concerned, because the onus is uncomfortably on him now to prove that none of these allegations actually happened.
Most certainly, these confessions of the middleman raises some very, very uncomfortable questions. Remains to be seen whether we get specific response today from former Air Chief SP Tyagi on the revelations that have been made in the confession of one of the key middlemen in the VVIP chopper deal.